Hey guys, welcome to another week of the Fantasy Forum. This would be week 5. Wow, I can't believe we're already in week 5. It's going pretty fast. It usually always does. And we're almost close to basketball season. It's just it's gonna be a wild ride. But yeah, I want to go over what I want to talk about. I'd like to go over the projections and the rankings and all that. And I had something else prepared. And I want to talk about my trade. There's something else. I'll get to it. But first off, I want to say that I want to congratulate my Indians for making it into the postseason. We are the second best team in the AL, the American League. We're playing Boston tonight for the first game at home, and we always seem to play Boston in the playoffs, no matter what time or when we make it. It always seems like we have to beat Boston. So I have just a weird feeling about this year with David Ortiz retiring, and I have a feeling we're going to lose the series because of that. Just kind of like the whole Peyton Manning winning his last hurrah kind of thing. I kind of see David Ortiz doing the same thing. So, I'm praying we win, but we'll just have to see. Anyways, I know I'm very pessimistic about everything. So yeah, I'll get into it. So good luck, Indians, tonight. Go Tribe. Get your tomahawks out, or whatever you want to call them. All right. I'm going to share my screen here and show me. Okay. This week we have Todd Gurley. I love these uniforms the Rams have. That was a really cool idea the NFL did this year. On Thursday night games, they're doing these different uniforms. They might have done it last year too. I'm not too sure, or it's just some teams did it. But they're doing I think they're called color alternate jerseys, where they wear or full color jerseys or something like that, where they wear all one color basically. And as you can see, the Rams, they have an all yellow here, which I think is really neat. And they have the throwback helmets, which I absolutely loved. But yeah, I think that's really sweet. And you got Todd Gurley there doing a little dab on you. I can't do it, but at least not convincingly. But that's pretty cool. Todd Gurley hasn't been doing well this year, and hopefully he can get better. But at least he's healthy, so that's a good thing. Big trade I made this week. I'm 0-4. I'm the only team that's winless right now, so I needed a new approach. So I gave away my two best guys which were C.J. Anderson and Brandon Marshall, for LaShawn McCoy and Emmanuel Sanders. And one of the main reasons I did this, like I said, to switch up my team, make it look a little different, but also Brandon Marshall and C.J. Anderson, besides C.J. getting that huge game the first week, neither of them have scored over 20 points in the past 3 weeks. And Brandon Marshall had a decent game last week, and it was against the Seahawks, and I might regret trading him. But I wanted a new look, and I wanted guys who could get me at least 20 points. And LaShawn McCoy is going to be Buffalo's number one guy all season. And I got Emmanuel Sanders because he gets so many targets on that offense. It doesn't matter who's playing QB. He just gets so many targets, and he's a PPR fan. He's huge for PPR. So I kind of downgraded at wide receiver, but it could work out. So that's the main reason I wanted to do a trade, and I'm looking for a couple other trades here and there. I know I just picked up Matt Ryan. If anybody's interested in him or Phillip Rivers, I'm open to a trade there. I'm also looking to maybe package Randall Cobb and Golden Tate if anybody wants to take a chance on them. And Rashard Jennings also is in that mix. So if anybody wants to, try to get a trade with me, I'm open to suggestions, but don't make it like stupid. I hate when people send me stupid trades that, I don't know, they're trying to outsmart me or something. I don't know. Every time I think I send a trade, I think I'm pretty fair about my trades. And maybe the first go about, I might try to get a little bit more than what I think my trade's worth. But then if they, come back and say, no, this, I want this. Usually they come back and say, well, I want like the world and here's a pebble kind of thing. And I at that point I get frustrated and I say, okay, well, this ain't probably going to get done. So I just stop, which I should probably make it a little try a little more effort to not do that, but give a little more effort, not try. But yeah, I'm open to any trade offers anybody wants to make. And so yeah, that is the trade me and Brandon made. I believe there were no other trades this week. So we'll look at the matchups from this past week and see who we got, what we have. Francis did end up beating me by a good margin. It was pretty close until the Sunday night game. Le'Veon Bell didn't look good at first, but then he started coming on. Well, he did look good, but they just weren't using him that much. And then it just kind of it was the Steelers were killing Kansas City, so it was his Kansas City tight end and wide receiver and Steeler running back, and it all looked great for him. So, yeah, he also picked up Dak Prescott, got him 20 points. That was a good pickup for him, even though Russell Wilson did end up scoring 27 on the bench, but that wasn't a huge difference anyways. Besides that, Lamar Miller, another pedestrian week for him. Nothing too shiny there. He's just been getting a lot of carries and not doing much other than getting about 80 yards and a few catches, but no touchdowns. That's the big takeaway from that. He's gonna get them eventually, though. He should. Like I said, Le'Veon Bell did well. Stephon Diggs did not show up against the Giants. And his team actually just didn't perform all that great except for Le'Veon Bell. And his kicker even got him -1, Steven Gostkowski, which was, he's like the #1 guy in fantasy. So that was really surprising to see. But it didn't matter because Blair Walsh only put up 6. My Chiefs defense I knew not to play them, but they just had such a great score last week that I couldn't resist. And also Golden Tate is on my bench for a while. I'm not playing him at all. I don't care if it's a bye week. I'll fucking drop him because he looked terrible. I don't know what's going on with him. They look like Detroit's starting to give up on him. So I probably shouldn't be saying that for trade purposes, but he could come back. I mean, he might they might just try to. I mean, he's very talented. They probably want to get him, on the same page. So yeah, Brandon Marshall and Jerick McKinnon both had 18-point performances, which was nice to see. I actually did get a few touchdowns on my team this week, which was nice. Nice to see. I also had Danny. Well, I had to pick up somebody for Josh Gordon, right? So, who do I pick up? Who is the number one projected scorer for the next week that I could get? And I was like, oh, Scott. And I also had the number one waiver wire. Scott dropped Justin Forsett. Oh, that's neat. So I can just pick him back up, and it's like I never lost him. So I make a waiver claim for Justin Forsett. I drop Josh Gordon. And I'm like, okay, now I have another decent running back on my team that I can use. It could not have been 24 hours. It was Saturday night. And then on Sunday morning, I see this just in, Justin Forsett is getting benched. Basically, he was inactive. And Terrence West is getting the start. And, of course, who picked up Terrence West but Scott? It's like he knows. I don't get it. But he's got that insider information, I guess. Maybe I'm just not good at fantasy at all. That's why. But yeah, so I'm like, okay. He must have done something disciplinary or some weird thing. So, okay. Bench him. So I bench him and I put Danny Amendola in. And at the last second, it was literally like a minute, well, maybe 2 minutes before 1 o'clock. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to play Chris Thompson against Cleveland. Better matchup. Better. And Danny Amendola hasn't really done much with that Brisket or whatever his name is. So I did that and I got 11 points out of it, which was nice to see. Chris Thompson actually got a touchdown. I mean, it's not nice to see against Cleveland because that was like the momentum builder for them. But yeah, you go, yay, kind of thing when that happens. And then the next day, or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, they let Justin Forsett go again. I don't get it. I literally ended his career. I don't know. I'm sorry, Justin Forsett. I publicly apologize if you watch this somehow. I ended your career. I picked you up like literally the days before you got released both times. So I will never own you in fantasy again because you're never going to play again. But it was... Oh, I was dying of laughter. You can't write it. You really can't. And it just continuation of my fantasy season for this year. So that happened. And I also want to know by you guys, if you want to leave a comment in the box, the YouTube comment, or even on the league board. Who do you guys think is going to go get a win first? Cleveland or my fantasy team? This week they're going against Patriots, so I don't see us winning. But historically, we always seem to play the Patriots really well. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was a few years back. We destroyed them like 35-10 or something. Like it was a blowout, and we looked amazing. But we weren't any good that year. We maybe won 4 games that year. So that's like a given every year. But yeah, I want to see. I think it would be fun to see who you guys think would actually get a win first. Yeah, that was our matchup. I picked Francis to easily win, so I was right on target there. At least I didn't jinx him this week, right? And then we had Blaine against Rico, which I thought was going to be a huge blowout. But Rico's team actually didn't perform very well this past week. Mainly DeAndre Hopkins. He's not been playing too well lately. I hope that doesn't affect you, and you're starting to finally lose some of that momentum with your running backs. So it looked like it was gonna work. It was strong, and then it just kind of combusted. So I would be looking to trade maybe for a running back. Like I said, I have Rashard Jennings, or I could even maybe do Jerick McKinnon, but I really am looking to kind of keep him. But I'm open to suggestions. So yeah, Eli had a bad game, but luckily Matthew Stafford had even a worse game. And Brandon's team just did not perform well. Blaine. It's Blaine. Blaine's team didn't do well. And Christine Michael and Calvin Benjamin were your best performers on your team, which was the trade you made. But you got rid of Julio Jones, who had a freaking monster career, one of the best fantasy performances we've ever seen. So that kind of hurt you a lot. Also, you could have played TJ Yeldon and over Tajay Sharp, and you would have won. Huh? Interesting. But yeah. Other than that, the Panthers D getting -1, that was a big blow to your team. Yeah, just the surprise here was Rico's team. I mean, he's still undefeated though. He got out of it with the win, which is the most important thing. Then we had TJ and Mr. Mac, and Mr. Mac's team is doing a lot better. Right in time for me to play him, because I'm playing him this week. He did play Michael Crabtree finally, and he was his best player by far. So, yeah. You're welcome. I don't know if you watched it or not, but that was good on you. You finally put him in. If Des Bryant would have played, I don't know if he would have played him or not. But, yeah. But he does have Drew Brees on bye this week. And I think he might have had someone else. I can't remember. But Des Bryant, I'm pretty sure, is going to be out for this matchup. No, yeah, it doesn't look like he's gonna play, but he is a gamer. Yeah, TJ's team didn't do well this week though. They scored under 100. Odell Beckham, he got blanketed really bad by that cornerback from Minnesota, Rhodes, I think his name is. So, I think he's going to do a lot better. And Steve Smith had 25 on your bench, which, I definitely would have played the wide receivers you have, but none of your guys showed up. So, except for Jordan Reed against Cleveland, of course. And, yeah. Devonta Freeman and Matt Jones against Cleveland. Cleveland's like a matchup god. One different takeaway from this was Drew Brees only getting 14 when they had 35 points in that game. That was kind of surprising to me. And Fozzie Whitaker on your bench scoring 17 points. That was very surprising to me. So he could be helpful for you down down the road, since Jonathan Stewart is just the worst running back ever. He never plays. And then we had Josh against Brandon, and Josh did end up getting this win by quite a bit. Yeah. I don't have much to say about this matchup. Deshaun Jackson getting 1 point. That was really disappointing. And Blake Bortles, that was a nice pickup for Josh, getting him 27 points. Yeah. Nothing much else to say about this matchup. Pretty much knew Josh was going to get that win after AJ Green got that big 33 points. Then we had Rob against Johnny, the old Trump matchup. And boy, did Rob's team perform. His running backs looked awesome. Of course, Julio Jones had that monster game. Oh my goodness, he looked unstoppable. And the Broncos D got him 16. Everybody got in double digits except for Julian Edelman, and that's awesome to see. Julian Edelman should come back now that Tom Brady is back. So he'll look to bounce back in a big way. Jamal Charles is also coming back, so hopefully he can do well. Yeah, Rob's team all of a sudden looks like the best team. Very, very, very nice. And Johnny's team, they were okay. Ben Roethlisberger, of course, got him the 35, and Mark Ingram finally is doing better. But other than that, the wide receivers are looking weak. That's about it for that. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And last but not least, we have Scott against his dad. And this was kind of a ho-hum matchup, and all of a sudden everybody on Scott's team is getting hurt. Gronk is questionable. I did not realize that. He had Will Fuller and Terrence West on his bench, though. Get him 19 and 27 points, respectively. I'm guessing he's not going to be playing Jeremy Hill this week. He's probably going to play Terrence West. But yeah, mostly Demaryius Thomas finally had a good game. DeMarco Murray is looking like the guy we all saw 2 years ago. He's just gobbling up touchdowns and being the only offense Tennessee has. And for Mr. Batch here, I don't know why he played Cameron Sardis-Payne. I really don't. He must have heard something that I didn't, but it didn't pay off. Team isn't looking too promising right now. Kirk Cousins at least got you 19. And Antonio Brown is going to be Antonio Brown. But besides that, everybody looked pretty bad. So, hopefully you can bounce back next week. And let's look at the matchups for this week. Like I said, we have me against Mr. Mac. They're projecting me to get 104, which is really bad. I think my team's going to hopefully at least get over 100 points this week. Hopefully. And, yeah, he's projected to get 93, but he has Doug Baldwin still in his lineup. Oh yeah, Doug Baldwin is the other bye week that I was thinking of earlier. So I don't know who he's gonna plug in there. I think he had. Maybe he's holding out. Hopefully, he's hoping Des Bryant will play. Mohamed Sanu is also questionable, and then he also has Michael Floyd, which if he wants to play him, he's gonna have to get him in, because that game is in a few hours here. So yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing there. But as of now, it would be a pretty even matchup. And he also got Zach Ertz back. Michael Crabtree against San Diego. That should be a big game for him. They should project him more than 13. But they have Emmanuel Sanders scoring 12, LaShawn McCoy scoring 15, Jerick McKinnon only 12, Phillip Rivers 19 against Oakland. And I picked up Dontrell Inman. Had a great game for San Diego last week, and they need people to catch the ball, so I'm playing him, and I'm going to probably play Martellus Bennett against Cleveland with Tom Brady coming back. Dennis Pitta, I don't like the matchup. Same with Matt Ryan. I'm playing Matt Ryan, or I'm not playing Matt Ryan because he's playing Denver this week, and Denver is, their defense is one of the best in NFL history. So I'm going to stick with Phillip Rivers this week. And I've also picked up a new defense and a new kicker. I kind of revamped my team. So I just to give it a new look, and hopefully we can come up with a win this week. Then we have Francis at the questionables. So Francis at Blaine. He's projected to get 121, and Blaine's projected to get 79. He hasn't picked up a kicker yet, so that'll go up a little bit, maybe another 10 points, more like maybe 7. He picked up Mike Wallace, I see. Delaney Walker should do better. Kelvin Benjamin, I think, will have a good game. I think he'll have a good game too. Just the running back situation is horrible for him right now. And Francis's team looks like they're going to do well. So I will definitely give this matchup to Francis. I will agree with ESPN on that one. Then we have a good matchup in TJ at Rico. He doesn't have Carson Palmer this week though. He is gonna be out for this game tonight. So he's gonna roll with Kirk Cousins. Everybody likes Kirk Cousins at Baltimore. I really don't like that matchup. Maybe you would like Matt Ryan. I don't know. We'll see. Rico has the advantage here by 9 points. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Odell Beckham has a huge game against Green Bay. And we just saw what Julio Jones did to Carolina, so Mike Evans might have the same. It might get the same result. And Amari Cooper again. I really, really like TJ's matchups this week. He is playing Giovanni Bernard though. But Rico's playing Charles Sims and Theo Riddick again. DeAndre Hopkins at Minnesota. That's a terrible, terrible matchup for him again. We just saw what they did to Odell Beckham. So I'm going to go with TJ on this one. I think his matchups are better, and if Rico does win, it's going to be his bottom group of guys right here. Jarvis Landry and Olsen and T.Y. Hilton. That's going to be his... Eli might bounce back too. Well, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to give this one to TJ by a slight margin. Maybe 5 points. Then we have... What is the next matchup? Brandon against Johnny. Ooh. Brandon just got new acquisitions. C.J. Anderson and Brandon Marshall. They actually took Brandon Marshall's projection down a little bit. Johnny still doesn't have another running back in yet. I'm not sure what he's going to do about that. He has David Johnson going tonight. Devontae Parker. Chris Hogan should maybe have a decent game against Cleveland, but I'm not too sure how he'll be. I definitely could see Brandon winning this matchup. Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Brandon on this one. By a good 10-15 points. He's got 2 solid running backs in there. 3 really. And then Travis Benjamin, he should do well against Oakland. And Brandon Marshall against Pittsburgh, yeah, he should do better. So yeah, I'm going to give that one to Brandon by a good 15 points, I'm going to say. And then we have Scott against Josh. This will be an interesting matchup. DeMarco Murray doesn't look like he's going to be slowing down. Cam Newton, he's got to come back and play better. A lot of his guys are questionable. Let me see what this says about Gronk, unless it's it looks like it's both video and audio, or video and they don't have video actually. It's down here. They benefit from page, but he also slow in recovery. Their concerns remain limited. Practice Wednesday. Through 2 games since returning to action, his hamstring logged just 1 catch for 11 yards. Devoted blocking. Expect how close to him. Pink Griffiths. Yeah. So I could see him doing amazing, and Martellus Bennett, hopefully he can get some targets from Tom Brady as well. And Josh gets to play Aaron Rodgers this week. So, I mean, I like Josh's team. He is playing Bly Powell. That's interesting. And Scott's playing Larry Fitz. That's a huge advantage. I'm going to have to go with Scott on this one. Matchups look great for him. Team looks good. He just a lot of questionables. Hopefully they play. I think this will be a high-scoring game, though. But Scott comes out with the victory. And last but not least, we have Mr. Bacho against Rob. And Rob's team is looking unstoppable right now. Julian Edelman is coming back. His running backs are playing well. Andrew Luck should do well against Chicago. The one thing is Julio Jones is at Denver, so might slow down a little bit. But other than that, the team's looking like they should pull out a victory. Although Mr. Mack does have Tom Brady coming back against Cleveland, and that's a pretty big matchup. And he's got LeGarrette Blount. He's playing DeAndre Washington, who, if Latavius Murray doesn't play, that's a good. He's got some really good. But they both have. I'm going to give Rob the edge here. I think this is going to be another high-scoring game. But I'm going to give Rob the slight edge by like 10. Okay. And as far as what do you call it? Power rankings go. I'm gonna give Rob number 1 because I think Rico's finally gonna start deteriorating a little bit. The running backs are finally looking like they're not gonna work out too well, and he's gonna just have to find new ones. So I'm gonna say Rob, then Rico. Scott would be number 3, especially if Gronk comes back, and plays well. And then I will say Francis at 4, TJ at 5, Brandon at 6, Johnny at 7, Mr. Mack at 8. It's a good jump for you. Blaine at 9. You know what? No, I'm going to say Josh at 9, Blaine at 10, Mr. Batch at 11, and me at 12. Yep, I think that's pretty fair. Who has the most points? Actually, it is Rob who has the most points now. And Scott actually is second over Rico. So, it's pretty cool. And I have by far the least points. Hopefully I can catch Blaine. But right now it's not looking too good. And the least points against is by far Rico. Wow. He's getting some good matchups. And Johnny has the most points against by a hell of a lot. So, yeah, those are you guys. Johnny's got a 2-2 record with that, though. So that's pretty promising for him. Okay, other than that, I don't have much else to talk about. I know I saw the Cavs got their first game in preseason game yesterday. LeBron played like 13. A lot of guys didn't start. Of course, we have J.R. Smith on the holdout or whatever. He's just like Tristan Thompson last year. Tristan didn't play last night. Kyrie didn't play last night. LeBron played in the first half, 13 minutes. And yeah, that new draft pick we got, Kay Felder. He's small, but he's quick, and he's got some nice, scrappy defense, and I think he's going to work out really well for the team. I think he fits right in. He's got a vert. Oh my God, he can jump out of the stadium. Him and Jordan McRae. If we end up for some reason not signing JR, I'm okay with Jordan McRae. He looks really good for our team. He even was doing some some other like not just scoring. He had like 7 rebounds and 5 assists as well. So I would be pretty happy with Jordan McRae going forward if JR for some reason can't play for us. But yeah, I want to say to you guys that I hope everybody has a good week. Hopefully my team is somewhat better. I don't know if it's better, but at least it's somewhat of an improvement as far as rankings go, because LaShawn McCoy is the 3rd ranked running back right now, and Emmanuel Sanders is, I know he's better than Brandon Marshall right now, so that was another reason I did it, because I need wins now, and I can't wait anymore. I can't be patient. So yeah, like I said, go Tribe. We're playing tonight at 8, I think, 7 or 8, can't remember. But there you also have the Thursday night game. So, but that's Arizona and San Francisco. That's not a big game, anyways. Unless you have fantasy players, then you might want to watch it. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I'm sorry this wasn't the most exciting episode. I know the episodes aren't very exciting. Maybe I can put a little more time into this, more effort into this in the future. But as of now, this is what it's gonna be. Maybe you guys could help me out with some stuff like that, even though I probably won't listen. But you guys have a good week. I hope to see you next week here. I will be probably Tuesday, if not Friday, because I've been putting this stuff off a little too often. And yeah, I will say good luck, and you guys have a good week again. And take care. Bye-bye.